lugging, ditch, electric book, devices, books printed, disappeared, new technology, check out, go with the flow, hoopla,
Page 38. 4. Conversation.
Grandma, you've been lugging that book around all weekend.
If I want to read it, what choice do I have?
You can ditch the book and get an electronic book reader.
A what?
An electronic book reader. They're these great little devices that let you read books electronically. So you read on screen instead of on paper.
But I like reading on paper.
Trust me, Grandma. In a few years, no one is going to be reading books printed on paper anymore. Paper books will have disappeared.
I don't like all this new technology. I'm happy with things the way they are.
You really should check out ebook readers. One of the advantages is that you can buy, download, and start reading a book in minutes. Another great thing about it is that you can carry hundreds of books with you without it being heavy.
Why would I want to carry hundreds of books around with me?
Grandma, I'm sure if you just gave it a try, you'd find that you actually prefer it. Why not go with the flow?
I think this is all just a lot of hoopla. I've been reading my books on paper for 68 years, and I'm not about to change that now.
Page 39. 5. Listening. Listen to the information about the future of newspapers, then complete the chart with the advantages and disadvantages of each news format.
Since the early 17th century, newspapers have had the same general format. The news has been printed in ink on paper. Then the newspapers have been circulated to a particular area. However, the Internet brought great change to the newspaper industry. To stay competitive, it became important to have an online presence. Today, most major newspapers around the world have an online version of their print paper. Online newspapers present some important advantages. For example, they can present up-to-the-minute news instead of having to wait to print the next edition of the paper. An advantage to the reader is that most online news sources are free. However, it seems almost certain that there are further changes ahead for the way newspapers are presented and sold. Most people in the newspaper industry feel that the next step will be electronic newspapers. Electronic newspapers would use technology related to today's electronic book readers. Like these readers, e-newspapers would use e-ink. Like a computer screen, e-ink has the ability to instantly refresh and change images. However, e-ink uses paper instead of a computer screen, so e-ink images look more like the images in actual books and newspapers. The electronic newspaper will have the look and feel of a print newspaper in other ways as well. It will be as large as the typical print newspaper, with a lightweight, portable screen that is flexible enough to be rolled or folded like a newspaper. The e-newspaper will combine these advantages of print newspapers with the advantages of online media, such as constant and instant updates, interactivity, and video capability. Replacing print newspapers with the e-newspapers will mean that newspaper companies would no longer have the enormous costs of printing, manufacturing, and delivering newspapers. This will mean tremendous savings. One newspaper publisher predicts, by 2030, we will have shifted to an electronic format, and we will have stopped printing paper newspapers completely. When that day comes, newspapers are going to go back to being the most important source of news to the public.
Page 39. 6. Pronunciation. Consonant clusters may contain 2 or 3 consonants. For example, broken, plan, understand, street, spray, hungry. Be careful not to separate the consonants in a cluster with a vowel sound or add a vowel sound before the cluster. Listen and practice.
1. The Internet brought great change to the newspaper industry. 2. To stay competitive, it soon became important to have an online presence. 3. Newspapers could present up-to-the-minute news instead of having to wait to print it. 4. The electronic newspaper reader will have the look and feel of a print newspaper. 5. It will have a portable screen that is flexible. 6. One newspaper publisher predicts, by 2030, we will have stopped printing paper newspapers completely.